Yesterday we celebrated a very holy day. It was Gopastami, the first day when Lord Sri Krishna was given charge of the cows in Vrindavan. Sri Nanda Maharaj, seeing that Krishna came out of his Komara age into his Poganda Lila, where he attained 5 years old, was given charge of the cows. And it is one of the grandest, most wonderful festivals in all of Brajbhumi. In Nandagaon, they go to the places where Krishna did his cowherd Leela with Balaram and the Gopas. And in Vrindavan, they herd the cows through all the streets and marketplaces, and every shopkeeper comes out to worship Krishna's cows. It was also the disappearance day of 3 of the very great preachers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. One was Dhananjaya Pandit, who happened to be one of the very intimate associates of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who had the spirit of Nityananda Prabhu, to give Krishna consciousness to everyone and anyone without discrimination. It was also the disappearance day of Gadhadar Das. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna with the effulgence, complexion and spirit of Srimati Radharani. And Gadadhar Das happens to be that effulgence of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The duty. He is an expansion of Srimati Radharani in the form of her effulgence, and that effulgence is spreading the light of her love in all directions without discrimination. There is a beautiful story about his preaching spirit. He lived in a village, and sometimes he would be so absorbed in the mood of a gopi that he would just lose control of his external identity and just walk down the streets with a pot of Ganges water on his head, asking, "Does anyone want to buy yogurt?" And he would just sing out the beautiful songs of the gopis' love for Krishna. In that village, there was a ferocious, evil-minded governor. He was actually called the Kazi. And he was of a very fanatical branch of Islam. And he forbid any public actions of the Hindus. If anyone worshipped any god but his own, he would kill them, he would imprison them, he would plunder their possessions. He was so cruel, so intolerant. In fact, he was such a bloodthirsty person that the civilized people of that village, if they even saw him, they considered themselves so contaminated that they would jump in the Ganges. And if a breeze happened to touch him and then touch them, they considered that they had lost their caste. No one would come near him. No one would see him. They all feared him so terribly. But Gadadhar Das was so imbued with this spirit of giving Krishna to others, giving love of God to others. Please understand that Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian idea. It is the ultimate fulfillment of all religions, to love God. And here is the most intimate, personal aspect of the absolute truth, Radha and Krishna. Devotees want to share that with everyone. So at night, when everyone was sleeping, Gadadhar Das just was in an ecstatic mood to preach. He was chanting very loudly. He ran right into the house of the Kazi. And he was screaming out as loud as he could, "Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare." The guards, the ministers, the servants of the Kazi, they were so stunned by this that they couldn't say anything. They just sat there as Gadhadar was just dancing in ecstasy right in the Qazi's living room, loudly chanting the holy name. Then he cried out in a very, very enthusiastic, loud voice. He said, "Where is that fellow Qazi? Where is the rascal Qazi? I have come to order you at this very moment to chant the holy names, Hari, Hari. Hari, Hari. And if you do not, I will cut off your head." His words woke up the Qazi. Qazi became as angry as fire. He came running out to punish and kill whoever was speaking such words of blasphemy. But when he saw Gadhadar singing and dancing, he was just an ocean of compassion and humility. The Qazi's heart melted. He said, "Gadhadar, why have you come here in the middle of the night?" Gadhadar Das replied, "I have come with a message for you, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They have descended from the spiritual world onto this earth to give what no other incarnation ever gave, pure love of God to everyone. They have come to establish the Harinam Sankirtan movement, and now the whole world is chanting the holy names, Hari, Hari. Hari, Hari. The only one left who refuses to chant is you. I have come to order you, chant the names of Hari, Hari, and you will be free from all your sins." The Qazi looked at him. He was so astonished. He forgot he was the Qazi. He said, "Gadhadar Das, it's late at night. Just go home. Go to sleep. Tomorrow I'll chant the name of Hari." When he said that, "Tomorrow I will chant the name of Hari," Gadhadar became ecstatic. He started leaping in the air with his arms raised. He said, "Why tomorrow? Today you chanted the name Hari, Hari. Hari, Hari. Therefore now you are free from all your sins. You have received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Gadadhar was so happy. He started dancing and dancing and dancing right in front of the Qazi, loudly chanting the holy names. For Gadhadar Das, there was no fear. Fire, serpents, demons. He was just eager to present this wonderful message of Krishna consciousness. And therefore, he is worshipped by all great Gaudiya Vaishnavas as the very effulgence spreading the rays of the love of Srimati Radharani. Whoever he would cast his glance upon, their hearts would melt. And he only had one business in life, chanting the holy names and giving the gift of the holy names to others. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say, it is in one purport in his books as well, that the real purpose of the Krishna Consciousness movement is not simply to defeat people through argument, reason, and logic. The real purpose of this Krishna Consciousness movement is to induce people to chant the holy names of Krishna. Because it is the yuga-dharma. It is the means by which anyone, everyone could experience love of God. Srila Prabhupada had that faith in the names of Krishna. And on the basis of that faith, he was able to alone, with no facility whatsoever, open hundreds of centers, distribute millions of books, and touch the hearts of millions and millions of people, not only in his own life, but in generations to come.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.